It's been 10 years since I accidentally became an activist. During this journey, I've done some rights and many wrongs. I was inspired by the highs, and I was humbled by the lows. I embraced my pain and celebrated my joy. Today, I'm grateful for Human Rights Foundation for giving me the opportunity to share some of the lessons that I've personally learned during those 10 years. But let me first spend the next few minutes giving you an idea of what I have went through that made me stand up here in front of you. Not long after I tweeted this, I was walking in a dark street in Cairo. It was after midnight. I got sucker punched on my head. I fell on the floor to only find 4 armed men who grabbed me and threw me into a car. They blindfolded me and ordered me to look down. And they told me not to speak. I didn't know where I was going. I have never been terrified like this in my whole life. For the next 11 days, I was handcuffed, blindfolded, and beaten up. They stripped me out of everything, including my own name. They called me 41. Dark was all I saw. Morning, noon, and night ran all together. And the screams of torture outside my cell woke me up at night. Before that, my life was very normal. I had a family of a wife and 2 kids. I was working as a tech executive at Google. And I was very busy doing the ordinary things. And everything for me changed, took a complete route of change when I saw one photo on my Facebook feed. It was a corpse of a young man. His name was Khalid Saeed. Khalid was tortured to death by local police. I was overwhelmed with anguish and powerlessness. The photo of his mangled face moved me so much. So I decided to create a page on Facebook, and I called it We're All Khalid Saeed. This page, with the help of many other activists, helped spark the protests that led to the downfall of Mubarak. When I was arrested as an anonymous activist. Nobody knew who I was. But when I came out of jail after 11 days, I became an accidental celebrity. I came out to a world that was completely foreign to me. There was 1 million people in Tahrir Square, 1 million followers on that Facebook page, and I was overwhelmed by the media attention. My face became recognized by a lot of people that I don't know. And I was totally over my head. I felt exposed and confused, loved and idolized by some, and hated and attacked by others. But what really struck me was the attacks that came from people I thought I was fighting for. The downfall of Mubarak, however, filled me with a lot of hope. Just like millions of Egyptians, we thought that the dream of a free and democratic Egypt is about to be realized. And instead of that, the dream, however, turned into a nightmare. In the course of the next 2 years, destructive polarization brought the worst out of everyone. June 2013 happened, and the first democratically elected president was forced out of power after massive protests. Police officers shot live ammunition at local protesters, and terrorist groups started killing civilians and military personnel. Thousands were killed, and tens of thousands were imprisoned, among them a lot of my dear friends. I had no option but to leave the country. But as the plane was taking off, my tears were falling down. The feeling of shame and guilt crushed me. I felt like I abandoned my cause, abandoned my friends, and I betrayed my larger-than-life persona that was thrust upon me against my own will. I went to California, and I tried to go back to my ordinary life, but it was not a soft landing. I fell down into a sinkhole of depression that I never experienced. I tried to go back to my ordinary life, but I failed. And I found myself last August crying in one of the meeting rooms at the office, and I knew that was it. So I quit my job, and I left my family behind in California, and I traveled to Boston by myself. In Boston, I went through a stage where I could now call graduating from my own depression. Initially, I didn't want to deal with my depression. I was denying it. But I knew that the only way is to actually face it. I realized that just like my prison, the activism that I have done have handcuffed me, blindfolded me, and beating me up. It stripped me out of everything, including my own identity. It took me a total collapse to realize that my soul has been broken and how much I needed this period of introspection. It's the imprisonment in my mind that prompted me to learn more about myself and pushed me to review my past and think of change. Notes to self. It's egotistical to spend time caring about everyone but yourself. 2, don't be conditioned to only project your strength while denying or hiding your feelings of fear, pain, and weakness, especially from those who care about you. 3, your hell is when you violate your own moral values. Your heaven is when you abide by them. 4, question authority. P.S. You are an authority. The belief in oneself and one's own ideas makes an activist willing to take challenges bigger than themselves. The same conviction could lead us also to fall victim of our own egos. Social media provided us with a great opportunity to propagate our ideas and ideals, but it also posed a huge threat because it could go into creating self-serving activism cults that feed our ego. Notes to self. 1, public attention is a means, not a goal. 2, make your ego a vehicle for your cause. Don't make your cause a vehicle for your ego. 3, those who speak on behalf of a cause could harm it the most. Keep your mouth shut until you have something useful to say. 4, don't fall into the trap of seeking the adrenaline rush of likes, shares, and follows. 5, attention is a scarce resource. We all know that. But empathy, dignity, and courage is even scarcer. Activists are the prophets of their causes. Our success is in winning people over, not alienating them. If we spend our time only engaging with our fellow activists and people who agree with us, we're not really working for a cause. We're just creating a self-serving cult. Our power is in our own voice. And when dealing with our opponents, we need the level of restraint that we demand for a well-trained police officer. Notes to self. 1, stop being extreme and exclusive while advocating for tolerance and diversity. 2, cops are not bastards. Activists are not saints. Focus your energy on fixing systems and creating accountability for everyone. 3, it's biologically rewarding when you dehumanize your opponents. They like doing that to you too. 4, spend your time engaging with your opponents. Read what you disagree with. 5, if you want to alienate people, it's simple. Insult them. As an activist, there is always a part in me that's willfully naive and relentlessly optimistic. But it's this naive optimism that tries to bridge the gap between the present and a better future. However, I found that this could take you into a whiff of arrogance. In absence of a balance, such arrogance could be damaging to our causes. Our superpower is to stick to our core values, and one of those critical core values is to honestly seek the truth. Note to self: stop believing in falsehood that confirms your biases while condemning your opponents for lying. 2, 99% of conspiracy theories are false. Hence, you will never find the 1% where you expect them to be. 3, the more you are emotionally invested, the less likely you are going to be rational. 4, don't listen to the angry, loud voices. They usually lack substance. It's easy for us to engage in fault-finding within any system. But it's important to remember that every system has plenty of faults, and that we are products of that system as much as the system is a product of us. We need to spend more time and energy working on building a collective vision for what we want, not only spend time protesting what we don't want. Notes to self. 1, the more fundamental a change is, the more time it requires people to embrace it. 2, don't take part in an angry mob. Take part in a movement that channels your anger in something productive. 3, idealism is our anchor, but compromise is inevitable. 4, conservatives need liberals for progress. Liberals need conservatives for stability. 5, don't alienate the insiders. Join their efforts to derive positive changes from within the system. Before I end my speech, as we celebrate the 10th anniversary of the Oslo Freedom Forum, on this occasion, I wanted to share with you this very special photo of me. I was 10 years old, and I was protesting inequality at home. But on a more serious note, I'd love to pass to all of you a beautiful note that a friend of mine wrote on my birthday. Dear friends, I wish you all will continue to be free enough from the ground to unfuck systems, but I also wish you have enough roots to feel home. I wish that your confidence always keep you strong, but I also wish you will have enough humbleness that would allow you to receive love. I wish you the wisdom to know that you have reached no truth. I wish you all a continuous pursuit. Thank you very much.